In today's society, we are taught that prejudice is wrong. It is unacceptable to judge people based on their skin color, religion, and even their sexual orientation. How sad it is in a country founded on the rights to freedom, there are laws in place that are based on one religion's particular views. Discrimination against gays is as senseless as discrimination against African Americans, Hispanics, or Asians. From my survey results, I know that all of you know at least one person that is gay. Same-sex marriages should be made legal nationwide simply because discrimination against people based on their sexual orientation is wrong. Also, civil unions are not even as close to being equal to marriage. And furthermore, as stated in the First Amendment of the Constitution, Congress shall make no laws respecting an establishment of religion. I want you to now put yourself in the shoes of a young person growing up in our country. How hypocritical we are preaching that discrimination is wrong. We teach that you must accept people for who they are. However, our country bans same-sex marriages. The issue of banning same-sex marriages and denying a select group of our fellow citizens equal rights is a major problem facing America today. There are many senseless causes as to why this ban still exists. Discrimination against people based on their sexual orientation is wrong. Also, unknowing to most people, civil unions are not even close to being equal to marriage. And if everyone did not deserve freedom from religion, then she should not have been stated as such in the First Amendment of the Constitution. The country and anyone who is anti-gay marriage is no better than a bully at school putting people down. How can we expect to end discrimination if the country does not follow suit? We have come a long way from the years past when you would hear about gay bashings on the news. People are becoming more accepting of one another's personal choices. Just as in the years past, we have put an end based to laws on race. Ending the ban on same-sex marriages is the ethical path to continue if we want to end discrimination. Some people think that the gay community should just be happy with civil unions or domestic partnerships. The simple fact is that neither of these come close to being equal to marriage, and it infers a second-class status. I want to first explain to you some of the differences between a civil union and a marriage. First off, what is marriage? After doing much research on the topic, I have found out that marriage is much more than a commitment of love, honor, and trust between two individuals. Marriage is also a legal status that comes with rights and responsibilities. Hundreds of years ago, marriage was only performed by the church, and only the church itself could decide if two people could wed. There were even laws against interracial marriages beginning in the mid-end of the 19th century of the United States. This means that if you are married in Florida and you do not move to another state, the state would recognize your marriage in Florida. With civil unions, the union is only accepted in the state it was made in, and not many states even offer civil unions. Also, with civil unions, couples must file separate taxes each year. You also may not have considered such things as an emergency at the hospital where only the spouse can see the patient. If you say, "He's my husband," you will be rushed to a side. However, if you have to show up with all your paperwork and explain that the patient is your domestic partner, the hospital will most likely not know what to do with you and or what they're allowed to do from their legal standpoint. There are also many other benefits that couples with civil unions are denied, including survivor's benefits, Social Security, and employer benefits. When our forefathers set the foundation of this country, they wanted first and foremost that there be no laws based on religious views. The Constitution of the United States of America is the First Amendment. Congress shall make no laws respecting the establishment of religion or prohibiting free exercise therefore, or abridging the freedom of speech. When a marriage is in the hands of the government, it too should be free of religious restrictions. A marriage in the eyes of the government is nothing more than a civil contract, a contract that every citizen should be offered and should be able to enter into equally, regardless if the couple is heterosexual or homosexual. Last year, one man stood up declaring that marriage is a constitutional right and fundamental right that every citizen of our country possesses. Last year, the New York Times did an article titled "Marriage is a Constitutional Right" that covered the court rulings of a California gay couple that in their attempts to legalize marriage. The federal judge, Vaughn Walker, declared that banning same-sex couples the right to enter into marriage is a violation of the 14th Amendment, and it was time for change. Judge Walker had this to say: same-sex couples are identical to opposite sex couples in their ability to form successful marital unions and raise children. Though procreation is not a goal of the marriage, children of same-sex couples will benefit from the stability provided by the marriage, as will the state and society. Domestic partnerships confer a second-class status. The discrimination inherited in that second-class status is harmful to gay men and lesbians. During his rulings, one of the main points Judge Walker wanted to get across is that traditional views on marriage are no longer an excuse for discrimination. Moral disapproval alone, he wrote, in words that could be someday help change history, is an improper bias on which to deny rights of gay men and women. Well, I hope after listening to my speech, if nothing else, your eyes are now more open to the topic of same-sex marriages. I hope you have listened with open minds and realized that legalizing gay marriage does nothing but give equal rights to our fellow citizens. It is a clear solution to the problem of marriage discrimination. It is in no way harmful to society or to the institution of marriage. I'm sure we can all agree that discrimination against gays is wrong. And also, the civil unions are not as fully equal as marriage. And furthermore, as stated in the Constitution,